Alright, so I just want to talk for a bit. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy, just something that's been on my mind a lot lately, especially being 19 and trying to set myself up for the future. I keep seeing people overcomplicate investing or completely avoid it because it feels overwhelming. And honestly, I get it. When I first started looking into this stuff, it felt like everyone either had it all figured out or was trying to sell something. So, yeah, I want to talk about how something as small as $15 a week can actually matter long term. Not in a life hack way, just a real, slow, boring, realistic way. And before anything else, I'm 19 and I'm not rich. I didn't inherit money. I don't come from some crazy background where I had a head start. I'm a college guy studying electrical engineering and working three jobs to keep everything pushing. I mess up, but I learn as I go. This isn't a get rich quick thing. I'm not selling anything. I'm not pushing some stock. I'm not promising fast money. This takes time, and that's probably the least exciting part to hear, but it's also the truth. But hear me out for a second. $15 a week sounds like nothing, like genuinely nothing. It's the kind of money people spend without thinking, like grabbing food, a drink, random stuff at the store. Stuff we've all done plenty of times. But when you zoom out, it starts to look different. $15 a week is around 60 bucks a month. Over a year, that's about $700. And that's not because you did anything special. That's just consistency. And I think that's the part a lot of people miss. The goal isn't to do something impressive. The goal is to do something repeatable. I didn't start investing because I had extra money lying around. I started because I didn't want to look back in 10 years and realize I wasted time. I work normal college jobs that are paying me ranging from 11.50 an hour to 24 an hour. My income and spending isn't always the same and consistent. I've had times where I could invest more and times where I had to pull back. And that's okay. Real life isn't perfectly consistent, but I've always made sure to invest at least $15 per week. When I first started investing this $15, I honestly made mistakes. I waited too long because I thought I needed to know more. I watched videos, read posts, compared myself to people way ahead of me, listened to family and friends, and all that did was delay me from actually starting. Eventually, I just realized starting imperfectly is better than not starting at all. So I started small. And starting small actually made things easier mentally. I wasn't stressing about timing the market. I wasn't checking prices every day. I wasn't panicking when things went down because when you're investing small amounts, you're focused on the habit, not the outcome. Most people think success with money comes from how much you start with. Honestly, consistently matters way more. Someone who invests a little a week for years usually ends up ahead of someone who waits for the perfect moment and never jumps in. That's why $15 matters. Not because there's some magic number, but because it builds momentum. Once investing becomes normal for you, increasing the amount later doesn't feel scary anymore. That's when there's compounding, which is probably the least exciting thing to explain, but the most powerful thing that happens behind the scenes. Basically, your money starts making money, and then that money starts making money too. It starts to stack up. At first, it's slow and it's painful. You'll look at your account and think, oh, that's it? And yeah, at the beginning, that's normal. That's why most people quit early. But over a long period of time, it snowballs. Historically, the stock market has gone up over decades. Not every year is going to be good. Some years are rough. Some years, you'll literally lose money. But zoom out far enough and the trend is upward. And starting early matters more than you realize. For me at 19, my biggest advantage isn't income, it's time. Now, when it comes to what I'm actually investing in, I keep things really simple. Most of the money I put in the market goes into VOO. That's an ETF that tracks the S&P 500. So instead of picking individual stocks or trying to be smart, you're basically buying the entire market at once. The 500 biggest companies in the US. Nothing flashy, just consistent exposure to the economy. And honestly, I like it that way. Investing in the S&P 500 means I don't have to think about it every day. I don't want investing to feel like a second job or a gamble. I just want something that works over time. To do this, I'm using Robinhood, and you can choose any brokerage account, but for me, Robinhood is simple and easy, and it lets me invest small amounts without overthinking. This matters a lot, especially when you're starting out. Something I think people misunderstand is that not all the money you save always needs to be invested. And that's on purpose. Any money I'm not ready to invest yet, especially money I plan to dollar cost average into the market. And if you don't know what dollar cost averaging is, it's spreading your investments into little purchases of a stock or ETF over time instead of investing a large sum of money all at once. This money that I have saved not being invested into the market sits in a Robinhood high yield savings account. Right now I'm earning around 3.25% APY, and that's actually helping more than people realize. First, the money isn't just sitting there doing nothing. It's earning interest while I wait. Second, it keeps things flexible. If I need the money, it's there. If the market dips and I want to invest more, I can. It also helps mentally. When I'm not stressing about timing things perfectly, I don't feel pressured to dump everything in all at once. I can move slowly, consistently, and still feel like my money is doing something. That's basically how I approach dollar cost averaging. It's not about trying to predict highs and lows, it's about reducing stress and staying disciplined. Now, about the $3,000 a month idea. If you haven't figured it out by now, that kind of income takes time and a lot of money invested. $15 a week doesn't magically turn into that by itself. The $15 is just the beginning. As income grows, investing grows too. Getting raises, better jobs, side income, that's where scaling happens. And that's why starting early matters. You're building the habit now, so future you can take advantage of higher income later. Most people don't fail because they start too small. They fail because they never start at all. Or they quit early because it feels slow. And yeah, this is long term. We're talking years, not months. That's the part nobody wants to hear, but it's also the honest part. Financial freedom, for most, isn't flashy. It's a grind, but it does work. I'm not here pretending I've made it. I haven't. I'm just documenting what I'm doing, what I'm learning, and why I'm doing it while I'm still young and figuring things out. If you're around my age and even thinking a little bit about your future, this stuff matters more than you probably realize. Starting early changes everything. And yeah, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna feel behind. You're gonna compare yourself to people ahead of you. That's normal. Just don't let that stop you from starting. You'll do great things. And that's really it for the video. Nothing fancy, just consistency, patience, and letting time do its thing. If you want to follow along while I figure this out in real time, you're welcome to stick around. We're building this one step at a time. Like and subscribe and let me know what you think about in the comments. Peace.